If your to-do list is almost bigger than the Bible, you constantly get home tired after work and feel overpressed by things you have yet to do, David Allen has a profound and probably the easiest solution written in his book, Getting Things Done. Ability to be successful, relaxed, and in control, considering you have too much to handle and not enough time to do it, demands new ways of thinking and working. There is great need for new methods, technologies, and work habits to help us get on top of our world. According to the author, it is possible for a person to have an overwhelming number of things to do and still function productively with clear head and positive sense of relaxed control. That's a great way to live and work at elevated levels of effectiveness and efficiency. I used this method personally. It works perfectly, and I would be cruel not to share the insights. The method is actually very simple. It is based on two objectives: capturing all things that needs to get done, now, later, someday, big, little, or in between, into a logical and trusted system outside your head and off your mind. And the second, disciplining yourself to make front-end decisions about all of the inputs. Let me begin with the problem itself. For many of us, there are no edges to most of our projects. Most people I know have at least a dozen of things they're trying to achieve right now, and even if they had the rest of their lives to try, they wouldn't be able to finish these to the perfection. And you are probably faced with the same dilemma. You have probably made many more agreements with yourself than you realize, and every single of them, big or little, is being tracked by less than conscious part of you. These are the incompletes or open loops, which I define as anything pulling at your attention that does not belong where it is. Open loops can include everything from really big to-do items like end world hunger, to the more modest ones like hire a new assistant, and even to the tiniest tasks such as replace electric pencil sharpener. It is likely that you also have more internal commitments currently in play than you are even aware of. Consider how many things you feel even the smallest amount of responsibility to change, finish, handle, or to do something about. First of all, if it is on your mind isn't clear. Anything you consider unfinished in any way must be captured into a trusted system outside your mind, or what I call a collection bucket, that you know you will come back to regularly and sort out through. In order to deal effectively with all of that, you must first identify and collect all things that are ringing your bell in some way, and then plan how to handle them. That might seem like a simple thing to do, but in practice, most people don't know how to do it in a consistent way. Your mind needs help. If your mind had its own mind, then you would be notified about dead batteries in the flashlight next time you are in the shopping mall, not before you took it for an evening ride with your bike. So, rule number one, in other words, transfer the thoughts about to-do jobs, whether big or small, from your head to your bucket. Do it to free space in your brain. Do it because your mind can't let go until and unless you write yourself a reminder in place, it knows you will without fail look. It will keep pressuring you about that untaken next step, usually when you can't do anything about it, which will just add to your stress. Do it 100%. Do not leave anything on your mind on purpose. And that applies to everything. Little or big, personal or professional, urgent or not. Everything. There is no real way to achieve the kind of relaxed control the author is promising if you keep things only in your head. There is usually an inverse proportion between how much something is on your mind and how much is getting done. It goes without saying that emptying the buckets regularly is the final success factor for collecting process. If you don't empty and process the stuff you've collected, your buckets aren't serving any function other than that storage of amorphous material. Emptying the bucket does not mean that you have to finish what's in your voicemail, email, or in basket. It just means that you have to take it out of the container, decide what it is and what should be done with it, and, if still unfinished, organize it into your system. Most people think that lack of time is the major issue for them. The real problem is lack of clarity and definition about what a project really is, and what the associated next action steps required are. Which leads to the objective number 2, actions or decisions about inputs. Now, there will be a full separate video for that part because there is more that I would like to share and it won't fit into this video. However, part 1 can be implemented instantly by simply taking the things out of your head using a written note collection method. Not only it will allow you to keep a clear mind, but more importantly, you will not feel that tired anymore. Imagine, before going out of the office, you're adding a 5 notes that you would have instead took back with you home. Do that. Don't let those thoughts stand in the way of collecting some joyful information you have yet to come in the evening.